all of a sudden, all the crazies in the front row, like the old ladies that were mean, you know, or the beer drinkers and the cigar smokers, they kind of disappeared, and the families showed up.
Yes.
And the kids were, and it was okay to cheer for the, you know, good
guys.
So
it became more like theatre.
Yeah, it was more of a, exactly.
Pantomime, I suppose, in
Exactly.
a way. Oh. Is there do you decide, right, I'm going to be a goodie, and I'm going to be a baddie? This is what my role is going to be.
Well, sometimes it works that way. Sometimes the promoter or the people involved creatively will decide. But we kind of, you know, take a good look at the person, get to know them, and then, you know, you can tell where their edge is or where the logical extension of their personality would take them. So it's kind of easy.
Now, I want to ask you something. Does anyone ever deviate from the, you know, you say you know the outcome of the bouts before. What if someone doesn't play by the rules?
That has happened. that has happened. And, I mean, back in the day, we had a conversation this morning about that. Back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, if someone did that, they would be given a very hard time in the back by the other wrestlers.
Oh.
But nowadays, you know, it's... they just will fire you and do what's politically correct, you know, and there's no rough stuff going on. So
what's changed then in the 30 years, would you say, in wrestling?
In the business as a whole?
Yeah, as a
the business moves quicker because there's so many choices in entertainment with shows like yours and cable and satellite. People have so many different choices that the wrestling storylines have to move a lot quicker to hold the attention of the audience. So that's the biggest change I've seen is things move very fast. Like if I had a argument with Andre the Giant, well then 7 or 8 months from now we'd have the big fight. Right. Well, nowadays if you have an argument with Andre the Giant at the top of the hour, by the end of the show you have the fight. So things move a lot quicker.
Yeah. I've got 2 things for you. Firstly, you smell gorgeous.
Whoa. Hey, you know what was so cool? Denise was in the back and she goes, "Oh my gosh, Hulk, you're making my blood pressure go up."
Really?
Yeah.
She really fancied you.
Yeah, that was way cool.
And what's the other thing?
And the other thing is, how much wrestling do you do now? Are you still...
Not much.
Not much?
I'm 58 years old, and I had a couple really rough years. I had 8 back surgeries, and so that little thing you saw me do on TV, that was a few months back, and it wasn't a whole lot of wrestling. Like I said, Sting was my friend, so he took care of me. But in the old days, I'd wrestle 300 days a year. But nowadays, I'm more or less kind of in the back, you know, helping with the creative and the direction. So the company's called TNA, and we're doing great.
So, because you're bringing it over to the UK, is it
Wembley,
or?
We're in Nottingham Thursday, Friday, Manchester, and then we've got the big show in Wembley, in London here
how
Saturday.
many times are you going to wrestle this year and on this tour?
On this tour, I'm going to get involved. Believe me, I let everybody know it was a last-minute thing that I was coming over. I had another surgery a few weeks ago with a dental mistake that happened, and so all of a sudden I got clearance to fly, and so they put